So in today's video, it's going to be all about the latest feature on the newly released firmware with the Action 5 Pro, which is called the Field of View Boost Lens. And if you follow my channel, you'll know that I always film in this, which is standard D-warp at 15mm focal equivalent. And you see that everything's straight. There's no warping edges as I walk through doorways. I'm walking through one right now. And you see everything's vertical and true. Now with this Field of View Boost Lens, I'm hoping it's going to widen the screen and not warp the edges, because if I was to drop to wide and ultra wide right now, which I'm going to do later on in the video, you'll see that all these straight lines as I'm walking through this doorway, as you can see they're straight, but in wide and ultra wide they'll become warped, they'll bow slightly. So with this new field of view, I'm really hoping that they don't bow and warp as much. So now I'm going to show you how to find and activate the field of view, and then we'll get onto the video. Here we go. You'll just swipe down from the top, hit the settings icon, and scroll down, and there you'll see, if you've updated this to the latest firmware, you get Field of View Boost Lens. You'll just activate that by pressing it there. But just want to note, subject tracking and slow motion modes will not be available when using Field of View Boost Lens. But we're not using them today, so let's just enable that. And there you'll see the green icon, and as you back out in the top right hand corner, if you just make that out there, you see an icon next to the battery symbol just saying wide. So that's quite handy, because if you forget that you've activated that, that's going to remind you. And then if you just tap the resolutions at the bottom and then hit the top right, you'll just see wide and ultra wide. And now that Field of View Boost's enabled, you'll be able to see wides at 9mm and ultra wides at the widest setting with a focal length there of 7mm. Now let's get some testing. Here we go. So the Action 5 Pro is around 30cm away from me. We're in standard D-warp at 15mm. Now let me switch on the Field of View Boost. It's going to be at wide first of all at 7mm. Let's see what that looks like. Here we go. There's a lot more in the frame there, as you can see. So this is with the Field of View Boost enabled. Again, 4K 30, but now I'm in wide, and this is at 9mm. And now let's switch to the ultra wide, which is at 7mm, keeping the camera in the same position. Here we go. I look like I'm getting further and further away, don't I? So now we're at ultra wide, 4K at 7mm. So before this update, which enabled the Field of View Boost Lens, the ultra wide option, the most you could get there was 9mm. But now this has improved it slightly to 7mm. I would never vlog with this because I look like I'm really small on this front OLED. It's going to be interesting to see later in post what this looks like. So now let's chuck a side-by-side comparison up on screen at standard D-warp at 15mm, and then enabling this Field of View Boost in wide at 9mm, and then finally what I'm filming in right now, ultra wide at 7mm. And now let's just compare the focal lengths. I'm at a different position now. So this is the 15mm focal length, standard D-warp 4K 30. Now let's switch over to the Field of View Boost Lens. And now I've enabled the Field of View Boost Lens. I'm in wide at 9mm, and as you can clearly see, you've got all of the building in the frame there. And now let's switch to ultra wide and get the entire world in it. And now we're at 7mm. There you go, that's about the right distance. And now finally we're at 7mm in ultra wide with a Field of View Boost. And as you can see, it's a slightly more wider frame than the step down at wide at 9mm. So this is the 7mm. Let's put a side-by-side comparison up just to see the differences there. Here we go. So now let's thoroughly test this Field of View Boost Lens. I'm going to walk around, and as you can see, as I'm going through these doorways, they're completely strewn trait. So as I'm walking through these doorways, you'll see it's all straight and true. And then I'm going to jump straight to ultra wide. I'm not going to enable the Field of View Boost Lens yet. I just want to show you the difference in this filming in standard D-warp at 15mm focal length. I've got to turn around now to get back through these doorways. So now I'm filming at 15mm standard D-warp, and as you can see, as I've just said, everything's straight and true. And now I'm going to jump straight to ultra wide without activating the field of view lens just yet, just to compare the difference here. Let's just see how straight and true these lines are in ultra wide. And now I'm filming in ultra wide 4K 30, and the field of view is now 11mm. But now look at the doorways. They don't look so straight anymore. And that's that fisheye lens, which I never film in, as it bugs me, because everything looks a bit weird, as you've just seen. But what I found out with this field of view boost lens, DJI has managed to not only widen the screen, but you don't get that fisheye look within the lens. So I'm going to switch over now to the field of view boost. I'll enable ultra wide, which you're seeing right now, and now it's 11mm, but that's going to jump slightly to 9mm, and you'll notice that the straight lines aren't as warped as this when it's deactivated. I'll switch over now, you'll see what I mean. So now I've enabled field of view boost. I'm now in ultra wide, but now this is 9mm. What you've seen just before was 11mm, and all the straight lines was rather warped. Although they're slightly warped, DJI has managed to improve that field of view, and the straight lines aren't as bad, so that's quite impressive how they've managed to do that. So this is with the field of view boost activated. I'm in 4K 30 ultra wide, and this is 9mm focal length equivalent. So now I'm just going to deactivate the field of view boost, keep it in ultra wide, but this is going to be 11mm. So keep an eye on these straightish lines. As I've said, they've not completely ironed them out, which is a lot better. So now I'm going to switch over to ultra wide at 11mm with this field of view boost lens deactivated. Again, keep an eye on these. Here we go. So this is ultra wide with the field of view boost deactivated at 11mm. And as you can see, the straight lines are warping. So when I walk through the doorways, you get that fisheye look, as you've just seen there. Then I'm approaching another doorway. They're almost like portholes, they become more rounded. It really bugs me, that. I'll just go through a few more. So anything straight becomes warped. So what do you think to that? Because this is the ultra wide with that field of view boost deactivated. And one more time, let's switch over to the field of view activated at 9mm. Here we go. And now the field of view boost is enabled. We're at 9mm in ultra wide. And now we're back at that same doorway. These aren't as warped as when the field of view boost is deactivated. Again, that's really clever, DJI. And now I've enabled the field of view boost. I'm in ultra wide, and this is at 7mm focal equivalent. And as you can see, the edges aren't as warped. Now when I deactivate the field of view boost lens, you're going to see that these doorways become warped. So now filming at 7mm focal equivalent, and now it's going to be at 9mm. Here we go. And now I've deactivated the field of view boost lens, and as you can see, we've got warped doorways. So again, well done DJI, I can see a big difference there. And now I'm back in standard D-warp, the focal length's at 15mm. This is what I always film in, by the way, because as you'll see as I walk through here, everything's straight how it should be. Right. So I hope you enjoyed that video today with this field of view boost lens, which was newly released on the latest firmware with the Action 5 Pro. And I can see a big difference, although I've not again yet got back and edited this. I'm not really going to see because I'm looking through a tiny screen at the moment, but I can see there's a slight difference there. So that's really good from DJI that they've managed to widen the field of view and managed to reduce that warping effect on straight lines. So as always, do stay tuned to the channel, as there's going to be plenty more videos on the horizon, especially with this newly released Action 5 Pro. So as always, thanks for watching, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.